How does free college, a lot of paid vacation, and job security sound to you? Does it sound good? Great, because I'm here to persuade you to vote for Bernie Sanders 2016. Hi, my name is Benjamin Carmona. I'm a volunteer for Bernie 2016, the official campaign vehicle for Bernie Sanders. I am one of 3 point people appointed by the Bernie Sanders campaign to organize his official campaign kickoff right here in Chicago. Bernie Sanders is currently a senator of the state of Vermont. He is 73 years old, and he is neither Republican nor Democratic. He is an independent. For the past 30 years, Bernie has boldly addressed income inequality and the strength of big banks' influence in politics. He lives a political lifestyle aimed at strengthening the middle class, reducing climate change, and expanding healthcare and education. I'm going to go over 3 of Bernie's major issues covering topics from labor to education. What's even better is that Bernie doesn't have pie-in-the-sky dreams of making America better. He's talking about existing programs like FAFSA that already work very well. As I mentioned the first day of class, I have been on my own since I was 16 years old. That is exactly the age that one of Bernie's programs would start putting kids to work. Instead of wandering in search of work at such a young age, my brother and I would have been able to establish ourselves as productive members of society, employed and in school. Life came around for me, but the ages of 16 to 24 are very difficult times, financially and emotionally, for both men and women. Which is why I'm going to talk to you about putting young Americans to work. On June 4th, 2015, Bernie Sanders introduced a bill called the Employ Young Americans Now Act. He asked for $5.5 billion from Congress to train and employ young Americans between the ages of 16 and 24. In May of this year, Bernie proposed the College for All Act. If passed, it would provide 66% of the funding needed to cover public tuition for 4 years, which means that all of us in this room would be able to go to a school like UIC, Northern, Southern, or Champaign-Urbana for absolutely no cost. One of the ways Bernie proposes to pay for this is to charge financial speculators, like stock traders, a very small tax for every profitable trade. America has less paid time off than any other developed country in the world. For example, I started my job this past January with only 5 days of paid vacation per year. There's nothing I can do about it, but what am I supposed to do with only 5 days off? I am a dad and I am in school. Well, Bernie proposed another bill called the Guaranteed Paid Vacation Act. If passed, it would require employers to give each and every one of us 10 days of paid vacation per year. With holidays, that's 16 consecutive days off, with weekends. The issues I just mentioned are just 3 of the major issues Bernie stands for. They're important because they demonstrate exactly how Bernie will work for you and not the billionaires. I don't know about you, but that gives me a sense of hope for our future. Let's take a look at what will happen if the Senate miraculously voted for Bernie's bills. The Job Corps has proven that federally funded career training in success. The Job Corps has proven that there is success in federally funded career training programs. In Chicago alone, from 2011 to 2012, the Youth Job Training Program had a 102% on our official report card. The programs in place help youths acquire GEDs and high school diplomas, assist with technical career training, increase numeracy and literacy skills, and provide job transition training. After a copious 12-month follow-up with participants of the program, the success of these programs are measured and are in fact proven highly efficient with an outstanding passing rate. Public aid for public education is nothing new. I myself take advantage of the FAFSA. Can I see a show of hands who else does so as well? Okay, public tuition costs about $70 billion per year. He plans on getting about $46 billion of it from the profits of speculative investment vehicles such as stocks. He is proposing a near minuscule 0.5% for every profitable trade. To be exact, that's 50 cents for every $100 derivative. On top of traders being the world's wealthiest, they can also be the world's most annoying. Since we talked about working and going to school, now let's talk about paid time off. In countries like Germany and the Netherlands, they have mandatory 30 days of paid vacation per year. While plenty of facts exist for the benefits of extra time off, I think it goes without saying what we could do with those extra 10 days. In the year 2015, we will have 251 working days. I think we would all love to bring that number down to 241 and still be able to get paid. Okay, so that was a lot of technical jargon and a lot of information. But all of this sounds good and looks good. Let's take a second look and actually imagine yourself right now with no tuition bills, secure jobs for yourself and your family, and a working middle class with a high minimum wage. Can you see how beneficial this could be? For those who had to get out and work when you were 16, 17, or even 24, imagine how much different your life and your family's life could have been if you didn't have to face income volatility at such a young age. For us parents, what if you didn't have the burden of sending your child to school? For those with parents paying for your degree, what if you were freed up financially to pursue the degree of your choice instead of the degree of their choice? But you can change that. Each and every one of you can. And whether you're single, with or without children, married or engaged, paid vacation will improve the quality of American life, without a doubt. All of us in this room could sleep a little easier if we had a paid week to study for finals and another paid week to spend time with the family. Now, I don't know about all of you, but Bernie had me at paid vacation. With all this talk about free school, more money, and better job training, let's take a look at how you can get involved and actually make a difference. When you feel outnumbered or outbought by wealthy politicians, I want you to remember that dollar bills don't vote. You do. At this time, I'm going to ask you to pull out your cell phones or something to jot down a very simple phrase. That is #FeelTheBurn. Later, I'd like you to type it into Twitter, Google, Facebook, or Instagram and take a second to see what America thinks about Bernie 2016. Then use the flyer I will pass out to get registered and get involved. The only way that all this won't remain a dream is if you take action. For some of you, that might just be going to the polls in the primaries. For others, it might be joining me kick off Bernie's campaign and organize thousands of supporters. And if you live in Chicago and you are of voting age, you must visit chicagoelections.com and check your voting status. If you haven't registered, you must do so. For those who don't think they have time to vote, you are entitled 2 hours by law to leave work and vote. At 73 years old, Bernie Sanders has more energy than ever. His 2 terms as U.S. Senator were just a warm-up for his soon-to-be term as U.S. President. His track record shows us the commitment to grassroots ideas. His influence as an independent shows what the true effect democracy can have on climate change, corruption, and a struggling middle class. Our goal is to provide jobs to the unemployed and underemployed youths of this country. We need affordable education to incite individual creativity and accelerate upward mobility of the U.S. economy. And that's not all. All of us, regardless of your party affiliation, deserve affordable time off for leisure, rest, and relaxation. That's why I'm urging you to vote for Bernie 2016. It's more than a promise that Bernie has made. It's a commitment to our economy, our families, and our future. It was decent, but